Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm glad you could join us here on a Tuesday morning, coming upon December here. So glad you could join us here. Today, we're going to be discussing Social Security claiming. I know that Dave Pemper is our Social Security specialist. He'll be joining us here shortly. We've been working with Dave for pretty close to 20 years now. Dave does a great job in seminar sales, great job on both the security side and the insurance side. He's got great expertise on both ends. Dave has been doing seminars for decades, so he has a lot of great experience. He'll be sharing with you today and going over some of the strengths of programs that he has available on the Social Security side, and go over some of the details that come up with clients on that end of it. But we'll go ahead and get started. Some other items first. We'll be going over some of our programs we offer here through IMES. We have our new producer builders. You can earn some nice incentives based on production. The first 180 days of being contracted, we have levels anywhere between $100,000 and up to $1 million. We have a lot of good programs you can qualify, including a radio show, seminar systems, iPads, cash. We have all kinds of different things you can choose from here based on your levels of production. I know we have a number of agents have earned some really nice incentives here so far this year. We look forward to seeing more of you earn them going into 2022. We have our referral program. You refer agents to IMES, we'll go ahead and send you out cash based on that. We also have our marketing reimbursement, reimburse $100 for every $100,000 of premium you write. We reimburse half your cost. So if you did a seminar and spent $3,000, we'd reimburse you $1,500 of that, help you for those costs based on your earned market reimbursement account. So great way to earn some additional money to go towards marketing. You also get $200 for every $100,000 of single premium life, and $200 for every $10,000 of life target premium. So keep those numbers in mind based on your life business. Also counts towards our market reimbursement account. We have a really nice e-app system we use through Firelight. Most of our carriers have that available. Is a system they can utilize in order to submit business to a number of our companies. Really simplifies things. Don't have to read handwriting. Don't miss information. The app will not be able to be submitted until it's 100% complete. And once you get used to using the system, you won't want to go back. Really a strong combination for you in the field. Really helps expedite your process regarding pending business. It goes through much quicker by doing e-apps. So definitely keep that in mind on your side. And we also have really good creative team here at IMES, really good programs they offer through our office. Really a nice system they have for creating flyers, creating websites, updating your website. It can help you out with lots of different advertising. Maybe you want to do a social media campaign, they can help you out with that. Maybe you want to send out some mailers, do some digital advertising. It comes down to what you want to expand into. I know they can help you out with all sides of marketing, and they can help redesign your logo for your business, do business cards, whatever you may need on your side. Our creative team can really help you out with that side of it. We also have a really good software program you can utilize for clients. It's called the Retirement Analyzer. I know we have a number of agents that use this for most of their presentations with clients. You can plug in a lot of variables. Maybe you want to put in, client had a spouse that died prematurely, nursing home stays, hospital stays. Maybe they want to, buy a new vehicle when they retire, and you can plug that expense in. A lot of different things you can throw into the software program that's going to kick out some great information, really colorful charts, and really shows kind of where they stand today for retirement, what kind of monies they need to save in the next 10, 15, 20 years to hit the kind of numbers they're looking for to utilize in retirement. And Retirement Analyzer software can really help with that whole package. So Keep that in mind. It's free of charge to you. If you're licensed through IMS, I know Marcus Solar is a really good specialist with that software. Any questions you have, definitely give Marcus a call. He'd be glad to help you. We have a new side of the business we launched here a couple of years ago. It's our wealth management side of IMS, and I just launched a quick poll. If you have interest in getting some more information on the wealth management end of IMS, mark off yes on the poll I just did. If not, mark off no. And I know we've seen a drastic increase in assets under management on that side. The last 12 to 18 months, we've been seeing a really good run in the stock market. Since 2008, it's been on a pretty continuous upwards motion. A couple hiccups here and there, but been doing quite well. And we've got a great team here that can help you out that whole program. If you need to take your Series 65, you can go ahead and get that done. They can help you out with that. We have a lot of different investment platforms you can take advantage of based on that side of the business. I know that Charles Jr., Mike, they can help you out with all that information on that end of it. I know we have out of our top 20 agents that do business on the annuity end, about 75% of them are also licensed on the security side. So it comes in handy. That way you're not having to pass a client down the street to someone else that can handle, a certain side of the business that you're not able to handle. Worst thing can happen is you hand a client down the street, all of a sudden you lose that client because the individual down the street can handle more sides of the business than you can, and you don't want to lose clients that way. So it's definitely worthwhile getting your securities license, especially Series 65. We see more and more people with the assets under management. A great way to enhance your income on a monthly basis, and a great way to be able to help your clients out as much as you possibly can. I'm going to leave this poll open for about another 20 seconds. Again, if you do have interest in learning more about the wealth management team here at IMS, mark off yes. I'll automatically be giving you a call in the next 4 to 5 days and kind of going over what we have to offer on that side. So keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and close that poll up here. Get moving on here. On today's webinar, we have a really nice trip we have coming up in 2022. It's a 18-month qualification. It started in December of 2020, runs through June of 2022. Is actually 19 months. We added an extra month on there for you. It's a Mediterranean cruise. We'll be cruising around the Italy, stops in Croatia, Montenegro, Greece. I mean, a lot of nice ports there you'll be stopping at, and really nice time that you'll be having over there in Europe. And we look forward to having as many of you qualify as possible, and look forward to that whole program there on that end of it. And I know you got plenty of time to qualify. Qualification runs through June, and really a nice program we have available through that side of the business. One thing I did fail to mention here is we also do life and annuity academies. I'm going to launch a quick poll on that side of it. It's an all expense paid meetings we put on about 4 times a year. I know we just did one of these back in October. That's something you have some interest in. It's typically we have those in either Des Moines or Omaha, and really a good 2.5 days you'll spend with us. It's all expense paid. We fly you in from your location, go over a lot of good sales ideas on marketing, on life and annuities, go over the latest trends. Maybe you want to know what strategies have been working the best. We've got some great software information we'll be covering, including the retirement analyzer. We've got some great software on our website. You can compare income payouts. You can compare accumulation based on different index strategies. A lot of good information there you can get based on those meetings. So if you have interest in attending one, our next one will probably be in March of 2022. And we typically, as I mentioned, have those in Omaha at our home office, or in Des Moines at one of the insurance companies' home office. I know we have always a nice spike in production from the agents that do attend, so definitely worth your time. And you can always pick up some valuable ideas for sales closing and getting in front of more clients, really a nice combination there you can take advantage of based on that situation. So definitely keep that handy in your calendar for next year. You definitely want to plan on coming out to one of our meetings if you have not attended in the past. We'd love to have you out and attend one of those meetings. So I'll leave this open for about another 10 seconds or so. But if you do have interest in coming out to one of our all expense paid meetings, definitely get that marked off yes. We'll go ahead and contact you. We'll keep you up to date on when our next meeting is going to occur, and that way you can get that on your calendar. So definitely a great time had by all. I'm going to get that closed up. Once again, we are glad that Dave Pimper can join us this morning. I know Dave's been in the securities business for about 40 years on that side of it. And then on the insurance side, the last 25 years, been working with Dave for a couple decades now. Dave's been doing a great job with us, and he does a fantastic job with our agents, helping them maximize their time in the field, help close more sales, help get in front of more clients. I know Dave's been doing the Social Security workshops the last number of years, has really toned these in and got these really up and moving on a substantial basis. I know Dave does a great job on that side of it. So welcome aboard this morning, Dave. Glad you could join us here on a Tuesday morning.
Thank you, Mr. Matt Tour. I appreciate it.
Yep. I'll go ahead and run the slides, Dave. Is that good with you on your end of it?
No problem. That's one less thing I've got to do.
That's right. We're going to make it as easy as possible for you, Dave.
You're darn right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the kind intro. Been in the business for a long time, 40 years. And, I do my share of fixed indexed type annuities, though I certainly do securities and fee-based and kind of holistic in my planning ways. But one of the great ways of myself getting in front of more people is through Social Security claiming. Not many advisors really understand Social Security claiming. Only about 1 out of every 20 of advisors actually understand the ins and outs, and only about 2 out of 100 or 1 out of 50 of just the John Q public really understand Social Security. So something very useful. Go to the next slide. I'll see how you do. Yeah. So on this, and Matt, let me do this. There we go. Okay, I was just increasing my size.
That's what happens when you get old, Dave. You can't see very
well. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, the things that you got to. I like the headline here. Most retirees get little advisor help on Social Security. That is so true. In fact, by Sarah O'Brien on CNBC, she says a majority of older Americans, they get no professional advice, but none, about a key part of retirement planning, Social Security, even if they work with a financial advisor. A recent study concluded that is so true. I cannot tell you how many accounts that I've gotten because their advisor didn't know Social Security. I mean, how can you be in the pre-retired or just retired business giving recommendations on income planning and not know of one of the strongest areas of income planning is Social Security? Next slide, please. So this is a test, and we're going to take a test. The next 5 questions, and they're not easy questions. I aced it. I did get them all right, but actually here only 1 in 300 seniors to get them all right. So go to the first slide, Matt. To maximize your monthly Social Security checks, at what age must you claim the benefits? I want you to take this test with me. Okay, let's take it now. So I want everyone that's on. We've got a bunch of folks that are on this webinar. So let's answer. To maximize your monthly Social Security checks, at what age must you claim benefits? Okay, here we go. Write your answer down. Keep going, Matt. To go all the way through on that, on the language. Keep going. There it is. Correct answer is 70. At full retirement age, you get your full benefit. But for a single person, it's the age of 70. Next question. The second question is, what's the earliest age you can receive survivor's benefits if you're not disabled? What's the earliest age you can receive survivor's benefits if you're not disabled? Correct answer. Here we go. Go ahead. Yeah, it's age 60. You can start at 60. It's a 28.5% discount, but you can go in and get your the earliest benefit earliest age you can receive survivors. So, if there's been a death within the wife. Next slide. Does your spouse need to receive benefits for you to qualify for spousal benefits? Does your spouse need to receive benefits for you to qualify for spousal benefits? Yes or no? That's an old Meatloaf song, Matt. Yes or no?
It is.
Yeah, I
You're
mean that's what.
you're,
Yeah,
you're, you're aging me now, Dave.
Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. Yes or
That's right.
no? Okay, what do you think? Yeah, it's yes. She needs to take the spouse needs to take the benefit for you to take your benefit on spousal benefit. Next slide. Can divorced spouses receive spousal benefits? Think about that. Can divorced spouses receive spousal benefits? The
Does it depend
answer
on how many
is
times they've been divorced, Dave?
it actually does not, as long as those four things line up. Now,
There you
keep
go.
keep on thinking on that real quick.
Are you there?
Yeah, I am. Okay, so
Okay.
let's go. Yeah, so yes, if four stipulations are met. Okay, so this is a kind of a bad thing, Matt. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle this. That's what my administrator just got me. We are going offline. I'm going offline.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to go offline. I'm going to keep on my, because I know those slides, basically inside and out. So I'm just going to go in. Let me see. I'm going to go to a copy of that. I'm going to go off of my computer and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right from. I'm going to do it right from the phone. Then, okay.
That sounds good.
So,
At least your memory's still working out well, Dave.
yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, okay, yeah. And then we'll go to slide 5 here. Okay.
You go
Oh,
to the
I,
fifth
I
one.
will I will go back on this.
You can go over the
Yeah,
four stipulations.
yeah, four stipulations. So, if can divorced spouses receive spousal benefits? Yes, they can if they're married at least 10 years or longer continuously. They're currently unmarried, the one taking the benefit. X is at least 62. Divorce last was 2 years ago or longer. If those four line up, yes, then divorced spouses can receive spousal benefits from the ex. Okay? So let's go to the
Yep.
next slide. And then just bear with me for a second here, okay, Matt? Why
Sure.
don't you go ahead and read that and get the answers for the people?
Are you eligible for survivor's benefits if you're divorced? Yes or no? So that's a big question. So can you get survivor's benefits if you're divorced from that individual? Yes or no? I'll give you about 5 seconds on this one. So yes, if stipulations are met, you can get those benefits. And only 38% of people in the test knew they can get survivor benefits if you're divorced, your ex passed away.
Yep.
So
And that's his. Good job, Matt. As
yep,
long as those four stipulations are met. Remember,
sure.
the marriage had to last at least 10 years in the four. As long as those are met, yeah, then you're eligible for a survivor benefit, even if you're still divorced. And each one can take from each other, so that's pretty interesting.
And if you
So,
get remarried, you have to get remarried if you're age 60 or later.
60 or later won't make any difference. You can pick from who you want to. If you get married before age 60, nope. Then you got to take your current husband or current wife.
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly correct. I'm impressed, Matt. I'm impressed with that.
Well,
You need that.
as I'm reading this off the screen here, it's much.
It makes it simpler, doesn't it?
It
Yeah.
does. It's always
Okay,
good to have the answers.
let's go to the next slide. Yeah, doing this one thing. Well, let me say this. What a lot of FMOs, field marketing organizations like IAMS, I don't work for IAMS. I'm independent. I'm an agent, an advisor, just like you are. That's listening today. But I like to get in front of a lot of appointments. That's the mainstay in this business is appointments. And we coach up Social Security 3 different ways. I mean, if you don't want any marketing, you just want to learn Social Security. We don't need to get in front of any more people. Yeah, you have 4 Social Security coachings for $800. For $800, meaning you've got to go in and get about a 10,000 or 12,000 fixed index annuity, knowing it from Social Security. And I will say this: we're going to open up the poll right now. If
Yeah,
you'd
I
like,
just launched the poll, Dave. So
good,
if you do have
good.
interest in getting more information on the Social Security claiming program, mark off yes. So far you got 100% on yes, Dave. So it's a good
Okay,
start.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, but we coach. I can coach you up just a la carte for $800, and you can use me in your hip pocket for as long as you're got questions about Social Security. You can call me and I'll answer those questions for you. Email them or text or whatever you want to do. But there's support there. Second thing is, if you want to get in front of more people, the last Social Security workshop I did, I've done 4 now since the pandemic. I did one in September, October, November. I'm going into my 4th one in December. The first one I got 10 appointments. The next one I got 15 appointments. The third one I got 15 or 16 appointments. And right now we've got I think about 27 people lined up, or 30, almost close to 30 people for next week's Social Security workshop. And we guarantee 35 attendees for $2,500. I think that pricing will go up after the first of the year, but right now it's 2,500. So very, very reasonable. If you need to get in front of more appointments, more people, and I coach you up for that in that pricing. Actually, IAMS pays me to coach you, but it doesn't cost you a thing. Or Retirement Boss Radio. Be a radio host. I mean, I saw that last month we got 13 appointments. We got 13 appointments. Well, actually, for the month of November, because the next one will be in December. Last month, I think I got 20 appointments off of Retirement Boss Radio. We also coach you up on Social Security, and you can use me as a reference and a guide. So there's different ways to go in, and if you're working that pre-retired or just retired, and you don't know Social Security, I don't know how you can call yourself have expertise in that arena, because Social Security claiming is so important. Okay, so we're
Quick
going
question
to,
came up, Dave,
yeah,
on
you
the
bet.
on
Yep,
your
yep,
seminars.
yep,
Do you do food at your seminars, or you go information based seminars only at this point, or what are you looking at on those?
yep. So I call it the 3 C's: Cokes, cookies, and coffee.
I
That's
like
what
it.
we give. Yeah, Cokes,
Okay.
cookies, and coffee. And actually now we're just giving now we're actually just giving bottled water in wrapped candy.
Hmm.
That's kind of hermetically sealed, as that goes back to Johnny Carson days. Yeah,
Right.
hermetically sealed. Yeah, so no, we're not. That's what we do. And it's very simple. Those are not dinner workshops or lunch workshops. We have them at 6 o'clock. Um, and the workshops are anywhere between 45 minutes and an hour long, and they're completely educational. But last time we had everybody but 4 people. Everyone signed up. The only 4 people didn't come. So that's really high when you're looking at Facebook marketing. And believe it or not, Facebook, I didn't have a big interest in marketing until about 2-3 years ago. Found a new vendor, and they've done a very good job. Good.
Good.
So I hope a lot of folks signed up. We'll call you today, and we'll get an appointment lined up with me and talk for 15, 20 minutes, see if we can help you with Social Security claiming. It says doing this one thing with your Social Security can mean losing $100,000 in retirement. Bullet point 1: how much does claiming Social Security at the wrong time cost you? Bullet point 2: retirees will lose an average of $111,000 in income per household over their lifetime because they took Social Security benefits at the wrong time. Wild. Over $111,000 of lifetime household income they've lost. Get a load of this, Matt.
Hmm.
Only 4% of retirees took Social Security at their financially optimal age. Not someone else's age, but their age. And a lot of that has to do with survivors' benefits, divorce benefits, spousal benefits. A lot of it, yeah. A lot of
Good.
money left on the table. Next slide. Did you get to the next slide now, Matt?
Yes, it's a stroll down memory lane.
Okay, a stroll down memory lane. So just and then you'll have to help me because I'm offline now. So yeah, so
Hmm.
just history of Social Security started in 1935 by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. First check in 1940. Remember, the only age you could take Social Security was at the age of 65. Couldn't take early, couldn't take late as you can today. Now remember, back then in 35, average age of longevity was 62. What a deal for the government. What's the average age now? Close to 80. In 1961, under Franklin or under President Kennedy, they lowered, or you could take it early, even as early as age 62, at a discount. Take it now at a reduced amount, and then a few years later, you could go later, wait later, and take it at an increase, which is still around. Cost of living automatically started in 75. First taxation in 83, higher taxation in 93. There's still 15% of your Social Security is not taxed. The last big change in Social Security, besides COLAs and full retirement age, was the Bipartisan Budget Act of 250 implemented in 2016. They phased out file and suspend in 6 years, and they're phasing out restricted application over 8 years. In fact, it will completely phase out on January 2nd of 2024. So still a
And
couple of years
they
left
just
though.
approved the biggest COLA increase in probably what 2 or 3 decades this for this
Yeah,
next year.
yep, 5.9%. This
That's
year
big.
was 1.3, next year 5.9. Biggest one for 39 years, which is just shows you how the economy is steaming back. Okay, let's go
Hmm.
to the next slide.
Got
Does
it
it
up.
say how important is Social Security? Vary. 59% of retirees count on their Social Security benefit to be it's actually the major source of income over pensions, over retirement plans, over bank accounts.
That's
Pretty
amazing.
amazing. Yeah. Next slide.
Social
Social
Security
Security
101.
101. Thank you. Yeah, so it is. Here's Social Security in a nutshell from a 3,000 view looking down. 3 ages or dates that are important for Social Security. There's your full retirement age, somewhere when you're born, how old you are, between 66 and 67. If you take earlier than that, it's going to be discounted. Get it now, but it's discounted. Wait later than that, up to age 70. Doesn't help to wait past 70. Then you won't get it now, but it's going to be increased when you take it. There's lots of things that come into play of when to take your Social Security, not just age. Next slide.
Got it.
Can Social Security have a huge value? You darn right it can. If you claim at your right time, not the right time, not a right time, but your right time. Next slide.
Got it.
So in the trust fund right now is about 2.8 trillion. It did run a surplus last year. So you got to go back a long, long ways. In fact, you got to go back to 1904 to where this trust fund ran a deficit. And that's right when they started taxation. Okay. So what happens though this year? I haven't seen it yet, but this year probably when they come out with the trustees report in the first quarter of 2022, I bet Social Security Trust Fund will start running a deficit. And when they start running a deficit, it'll start snowballing with all the baby boomers and the people laid off and the people furloughed and the people that just said, heck with this virus, we're quitting. We're not going to be around other people. We're going to be hermits. Yeah, a lot of people quit their jobs. A lot of people retired earlier than expected. That's when it's going to be a strain on Social Security. I think we'll run a deficit for 2021. And then the trustees, Social Security Trustee Administration, the trustees of that administration came out just a few months ago and said they said if they think they project that the trust fund will go bankrupt in the years 2034. So in 12 years, 2034, it will go bankrupt. So my question is, if Social Security Trust Fund goes bankrupt, and you were getting $1,000 benefit a month for Social Security, how much would you get after it went bankrupt? And a lot of people say, I'd get nothing because Social Security's bankrupt. But remember, it's a pay-as-you-go system. Payroll taxes, the 6.2% that you pay, the 6.2% your employer pays, yeah, that 12.4%, that pays for your benefit. The only time it goes into the trust fund is when that 6.2 and 6.2 from employer employee doesn't make up, which it has since 83 every single month, but it probably is going to start running a deficit pretty darn soon. And then the rest of the money has to come from the trust fund. And it starts snowballing and snowballing where it will run out. So there needs to be some changes. We can go to the next slide. Now,
Got it.
those changes being made, there's a lot of different ways, but there'll probably be something on taxation and something on maybe longevity age. Full retirement age, 67 is the latest. Maybe it goes to 68 or 69. 70 is the latest to start pulling to get the most benefit. It might go to 72 or 73. Think about it. Full retirement age only was 65 back 85 years ago, and now it's only moved up to 67. 2 years, but longevity has moved up probably 17, 18 years. Yep. So
Do you think they'll increase that low age, Dave, above age 62?
that I don't think they'll change. It'll just be a bigger discount. So right now, if you're born 1960 or later, the discount is 30. Let's say they raise full retirement age and raise the age of 70. What they'll do is if you take it age 62 and you're that age group, maybe the discount might be 35.
Mm-hmm.
See, so that's what they'll I don't think, because there still are quite a few people that take it age 62. So I don't think they'll mess with that age. I think they'll be the higher ages they mess with.
So what percentage of people you think take it at 62? Like 60%?
No, 42%.
42%. Okay.
42% take it 62. Yep. Guess how many people wait until age 70 for the maximum benefit? For not everyone is at the maximum. If you're survivor or you're divorced, but if you're single, guess how many wait to 60? Guess how many wait to 60 to 70?
Not many.
3%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. 85% of the people, almost 90% take by the time that they're full retirement or earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep.
Good.
Okay. Next slide.
Got it.
So the facts are, it's a pay-as-you-go system. You darn right it is. It's paid by payroll taxes. The IOU does. It buys government special issue government bonds, but the government basically sells those right away and pays down debt. So there's IOUs. I don't get concerned about that because that's what backs your currency in your pocket. No gold, no silver, no platinum, no bonds. I mean, it's an IOU that backs that. It's not a Ponzi scheme. I mean, there's money to back it. Okay, next slide.
Got it.
Figuring out Social Security benefits. Yeah, you need 40 quarters. So if you make this year, if you make $1,470, if you make $1,470, you get a quarterly credit. Okay? And why that's important, you need 40 of those quarterly credits. You need 40 of them to go on in and to get a benefit from Social Security. If you have 39, you're not going to get it. You need 40 of them. Okay? So if you make $1,570 times 4, which is $5,880, that's the minimum. Those 4 credits, yeah. Can't make any more than 1 credit a quarter. I mean, you can make 4 credits a year, but it comes out to be, even if you do it all in one paycheck, you sell a fixed index for $100,000, you make 7,000. You made your 4 quarterly credits for the year. You can't make any more than that. And then it comes down to your highest 35 working years inflation adjusted. And then what are going to benefit? The earnings over your work here, the more you make, the bigger it's going to be. Matt, take it real quick. I got to take a break here for about 20 seconds, but go ahead and talk a little bit on that, would you? The next slide.
On the next slide?
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah. So if you look at the full retirement age, you got based on your birth, 54 to 43, your full retirement age is 66, and then kind of goes up by 2 months based on the year following. So 55 goes up to 66 months, 66 in 2 months. At age 50, 1956 goes to 66 in 4 months, and kind of goes up on that pattern. And then if you look at 1960 and later, you're going to be at age 67. So I'm going to be at age 67 when I can retire full retirement age. So I'm guessing they'll probably start increasing those ages as we continue down the cycle. We'll see how that plays out. And then the next slide shows that if you do start your benefit before full retirement age, that you reduce the payment. So it's depending on if you're in the 66 age group or the 67 age group. On full retirement at age 62, in the 66 age group, it reduces by, you get 75% of your normal full retirement payout. And if you're in the 67, it's at 70%. So you can see that decreases by 5% based on if you get your full retirement age of 67 versus 66. And then you can see at the other ages, and based on your attained age, when you start taking your Social Security, it goes up gradually. So you go up to age 64 on a 66 full retirement, you're at 86.7%. Then, of course, at age 66, you're at 100%. Then on the other side of the equation there, you can see they bump everything back by a year. So at age 66, you're at 93.3% of your full retirement payout on the age 67
Yep. So just a
situation.
lot of.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yep.
Just remember, if you take earlier than full retirement age, it's going to get reduced.
Mm-hmm.
If you take a 62, it's going to reduce to either 25 or 30%. This is if you wait longer. If you wait longer than full retirement age, yeah, it's going to go up 8% a year. 8%
Right.
a year, guaranteed. Where can you get 8% a year? Nowhere. Nowhere but
Nowhere.
Social Security. Can't
Right.
do it from an interest rate. Can't do it from an income rider, and it's guaranteed by the U.S. government.
Mm-hmm.
Not many people take advantage of this, but a lot should. I am.
Right.
I am. Next slide.
Got it up here. This is on the
Okay,
percentages. You just skip past this one?
Yeah, go ahead. Go to the. Did you go to the next slide?
Yeah, right now I'm at the shows the higher percentages based on deferring past your age, your full retirement age.
Yeah, go to the next slide.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm with you now
because
I can actually see the slides now, so that's good. Okay, so if you know the individual benefit, the spousal benefit, divorced spouse, surviving, and restricted application, you know those 5 things. I will tell you right now, you know 90% virtually of all the questions that will be thrown at you for Social Security. So let's go through those. And again, when you're coaching, we go through it much slower. When we work coaching, we do a lot of role playing. There's a lot of attachments. There's a book that you buy. It's like $20. I call it the Bible of Social Security. It's really a great book. But let's talk about how spousal benefits work. So Dave's PIA stands for primary insurance amount. That's the amount at full retirement age. His is $2,400, and Amy's PIA primary insurance amount is $1,000. His is $2,400. Amy's is $1,000. Dave takes his. Amy takes hers. Dave gets $2,400. Amy gets $1,000, or half a Dave's, whichever is higher. Well, what is she going to do? She's going to take half a Dave's. It's $1,200, $200 more. It actually is $1,000 of her own benefit and $200 of a spousal top up. Pretty cool. Next slide. Divorce spouse benefits. Remember the 4 stipulations that have to be met? The marriage had to be 10 years or longer continuously. You're currently not married. That's not the X. It's just you, the person taking it, has to be unmarried. X at least 62, divorce was 2 years ago or longer. Yeah, what's important about this? You can use your ex just as if you were still married to them. Pretty cool. Yeah, next slide. Survivor. My wife always says no one gets out of here physically alive. That's true. You're dead as a doornail at some time in the future. We hope it's a long ways, but we all die. Yeah. Dave's benefits $2,000. Amy's benefits $1,200. The guy normally dies first 75% of the time. Dave dies. What can Amy do? She has the option. She can keep her benefit, let Dave's go, drop her benefit, take Dave's. What's she going to do? Of course, she's going to drop her benefit and request Dave's. It's an $800 bump up for her. Now, here's the interesting thing is, on an individual benefit, you have to request it to get it. On a spousal benefit, it's done automatically. On a divorce benefit, you have to request it. On a survivor's benefit, you have to request it. If you don't request it, you don't get it. You don't ask, you don't receive. Sounds biblical, doesn't it? That's the way it is. And there's some pretty cool things at the age of 60. If there's a death in a spouse and you turn 60, you can actually go in and at a discount, it's actually a 28.5% discount, but you can take the widow's benefit and let yours grow and turn it on without any discounting past full retirement age. Or you can actually take yours and let the widow's benefit grow up to full retirement age and turn it on. So there's still file and suspend with survivors benefits, just not individual, which was done away with the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015. Do most people know they can do this stuff? Absolutely not. When you're giving information, education, can you see the trust that it builds? Pretty wild. So coordinating spousal benefits. Next slide, please. This is a complicated, and it is. I don't want to bore you, but it gets complicated. Just know you got to be born before January the 2nd of 1954 to get this. And not many people are. I don't run across this a lot now. It was much more common before. So you got to be basically 67 years and 11 months old to be able to do this. So you can go to the next slide, Matt. Just stay with me on this, okay? Restricted application. Actually, one of the person requesting the restricted has to be full retirement age. They both don't, but here I just did it so there's no discounting. Dave's primary insurance amount at full retirement age is $2,400. Amy's $1,000. The spouse is forced to take theirs to do restricted. She takes her grand. Dave wants to let his grow. Remember that 8% per year because he's 66? He wants to let it grow. He can let it grow all the way up to 70. So what happens here is as he lets his grow, that's a great thing. But with restricted, here's the loophole. You can actually claim your wife as a spousal benefit or your husband as a spousal benefit. You reach out. They can get half of Amy, in this scenario, half of Amy's $1,000, which is $500. That $500 is free money. Free money. 500 times 12 is 6,000. If you did it right now, there's still 62 years left, because of, you remember, you have to be at least born before January 2nd, 1954. But you can get 12 grand of just free money by using this. Less than 1% of the people this would benefit use it. Less than 1%. Sad. Called restricted application. So what can Social Security do? When I got in this business back, I've been in the business for 40 years, but Social Security for about 10 of those. But when I knew I was going to learn Social Security, and I did it, I went to symposiums and went on webinars like this. I didn't have anybody to coach me. There was no one there to coach me Social Security like what we're offering here, which is great. I mean, for you. But what happens is that I called my banker, my lawyer, my CPA, and they all said if people need advice, we can't give it to them because I wanted them to refer it to me, which they have. But they said, where do you do it? When I first called it, they said, we refer everyone. Everyone said to the Social Security Administration. Well, believe it or not, the Social Security Administration cannot give advice. They can give your highest benefit right now, the biggest benefit you'll get right now, but they cannot give advice. Next slide. This comes right from their program operational manual. Look at D. Provide enough information so that claimants, that's the people coming in asking questions, can make informed choices. But do not give advice. Who gives advice? Moi. Or you moi. If you learn Social Security. Which that's what I do. I coach. One of the many things I do from a marketing standpoint, but for IAMS, Insurance Agency Marketing Services, which Matt has been. Matt, how many years have you been there?
A very short 27 years, but I started when I was 5, so I'm pretty young.
Yeah, that's right. How many people have been with an FMO And Matt's a senior VP, with them. Not many. I mean, that's
No.
to hold someone like that. There has to say a lot to the person that's working there, but also with the firm. Next slide. Yeah, consider all your income streams. So I always say, that Social Security claiming is the worst water cooler talk there is. Hey, I took it uh, 62 and you should too. I took it 70 and you should too. And that's like saying, I love broccoli and you should love broccoli too. It's just that isn't the case. It's a flex. I think it's the most flexible of all income streams, claiming at your right time. And when you're looking at break evens, don't forget about the survivor benefit. And it's very important to look at that survivor benefit of when it will break even. Okay, next slide. So those are the income streams. Just pensions, income producing assets like 401ks, IRAs, 403bs, thrift savings plans, bank accounts. Required minimum distributions now at 72. The Secure Act took it from in 2016, January 1, took it from 70 and a half to 72. And then it's really how Social Security, really fits into those other income streams. And that's why, um, Social Security Administration employees are not going to go in and give you advice. They're not. They're just going to say what your highest benefit is. Those are the questions we ask them. But that number three, this is how I fact find for all the assets that the client has that I work with. There's probably nothing that has made me more money than knowing Social Security in my marketing. And that's why if you don't know it, remember there's three ways to get it. Just a la carte for $800, 4 coaching sessions. You can use me when you want after that too. You can do it through Social Security seminar. It costs it's $2,500, but we guarantee 35. 35 guaranteed people that will sign up, and then or Retirement Boss Radio runs anywhere usually $3,000 to $4,000 all in to be on the radio show, be your own host. I coach all of those for IAMS. Next slide. A lot of things to consider. Bunch of benefits. I mean, individual benefits, spousal, survivor, divorce, your health history, what kind of assets do you have, what kind of income do you have, all things that Social Security doesn't ask. Next slide. Remember I talked about the three ways? A la carte for coaching sessions for $800. Seminar marketing is $2,500. We are the minimum we want to get you in front is 10 appointments. Retirement Boss Radio, we want to also get in front of 10 plus appointments. I mean, I've had as many, no kidding, I've had as many as 30 appointments. True. Through Social Security workshops. It was an unbelievable night. I've had as many as 27 appointments in a month with Retirement Boss Radio. Those are the highest figures, so we don't expect that. But if you can go in and you can average 2.5 appointments every week from that, that's pretty darn good. Next slide. There's no saying. It says procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. It never happens. If you saw something today that you said, you know what, I really need to learn Social Security. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know if there's anybody else in the FMO business that will coach someone and not unless it's a la carte, it's not costing them if they're doing the marketing. And the reason IAMS pays me because they know that once you're contract with IAMS, if you're not already, hopefully you'll be happy with the service. But that's how they make money, by you writing business. And I think that between seminar marketing, which we did get shut down, we did some virtual, during the pandemic lockdown. Wasn't few people made money. I certainly wasn't good for me. I mean, I tried, but face to face are back strong now. We offer masks there if they want to wear them, depending where you're at. But I will tell you right now, America's opening up, and people are eager for education when it comes to Social Security marketing. If you saw something you like, hopefully you marked yes. I'm going to turn it on over to you, see if we have any last questions here before we button this up, Matt.
Yeah, one question that did come up, Dave, regarding the Social Security. You think the pandemic caused people to claim more Social Security benefits or hold off?
No doubt. No, claim. No doubt.
Claim.
Claim.
Okay.
They needed the money. They were furloughed and they weren't Maybe they're furloughed and weren't getting paid. Maybe they got fired. A lot of people
Hmm.
lay people off. How about all the people that may have been years and years and years in the travel industry, the hotel, the yacht? How about in the hospitality industry of restaurants? No, many more people. The unemployment skyrocketed. A lot of those people did not. They don't show that they're unemployed now. They just show that they're retired. They're not looking for a job. They claim Social Security. So you're going to see probably this is going to be the first year since 1983 that you're going to see where Social Security runs a deficit in the trust fund. Every other year they were adding to it. I think you got a lot of people claiming for benefits, in that baby boomer demographics.
So
Yep.
you don't think that was offset by the number of people that passed away? They were no longer claiming Social Security?
Well, most of those
That probably had a
people
small
were.
effect on it.
Well, it could be, but most of
Yeah.
the people. First of all, you got to think of here's the percentages. So how many people died in the U.S. that were taking Social Security? How many people died total? From was it 700? Was it 700,000? I
Probably.
mean, yeah, total.
Right.
Well, let's say
Right.
the people of say retirement age was 500,000, and then let's say that people that were taking their Social Security now it's 400,000, and let's say
Hmm.
of that, if you got survivor benefit or spousal benefit or divorce, now that 400 might go down to 200. So 200,000. So that's 2% out of every, or 200,000. That's 2% out of every 100 million. So
Hmm.
and we've got 330 million people. So do you see how the percentage is just
That's
extremely
small.
small? Yeah.
Right.
But what percentage of the people that are retirement age take Social Security have a benefit? 95%.
Hmm.
Well, now, yeah. So half of the people are retired. So yeah, you can just tell. Yeah. So does it make a difference? Oh, a little bit. But does it make a
Right.
big difference? Not much.
Not
Not
much.
much.
Yeah.
It's just the amount of people that are still living and taking the benefit that'll make the difference. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. Good
Well,
question.
good.
Good question.
Otherwise, I do appreciate everybody joining us today. We're trying to keep these two right about an hour or less regarding the time on. I know we had a number of people that want to get more information on Dave's program. I'll be going through the list here this afternoon, giving everyone a call, getting your information over to Dave. In his office, we'll be making appointments with you based on Dave's availability and your availability, and be able to get you on board with Dave's program. Dave has a lot of good options to choose from based on kind of where you stand on Social Security and kind of what you need to gain knowledge wise on it. And I think it's definitely worth your time to sign up for one of Dave's programs. And as Dave mentioned, I mean, a lot of people out there right now that are looking at retiring maybe in the next 6 months, 8 months to a year, need education, and it's a great time to start those seminars up and kick those off for 2022. Anything you want to finish off with, Dave?
No, hey, just thank you very much. I'd love to coach you up on Social Security. If you if you if you never have thought of that, just think about putting more money in your pocket, because that's exactly what Social Security claiming, understanding it can do for you if done the right way. Yeah, hopefully we'll talk, and hopefully I give you some insight.
Sounds great, Dave. Otherwise, have a great week. Everyone have a good week out there. Enjoy your December coming up, starting tomorrow. Enjoy the holidays, and we'll keep in touch. And as I mentioned, I'll be calling everyone that was on today's meeting this afternoon and getting you all set up with Dave. So everyone have a great week, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thanks, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye now.